What's up, everybody, and welcome to ITG Daily, the show that brings you the hottest in gaming news. I'm Drew Bosley. You can find me on Twitter at ArtisticGamer28, and that's the one, the only. It is Scott Savage. You can find him on Twitter at TussSavage. Scott, happy Tuesday. Dude, we got some happening things today, I gotta be honest, and some breaking news as well. We'll get into all that. How's your Tuesday morning going? I was like, what is it again?
Oh, Tuesday was a little rough. My eyes were burnt, waking up today. I thought, oh no, what have I done? But really what I've done is spend too much time playing video games. Nothing unusual there.
Yeah, I don't know if there's too much time at all when it comes to that kind of stuff. Northern Nerdcast joins us live over on twitch.tv/the official ITG, just like you can, or on YouTube at ITG Reviews. If you can't join us live, hit us up later inside the game.ca podcast services and TV streaming networks around the globe. We see you out there in TV land. We appreciate you. Thank you. Make sure you swing by our Twitter, the official ITG. You can enter in a lot of those contests we got going on lately. We got another one coming up next week, so make sure you stick around for that. But Scott, it all comes down to April 2nd. It is the main mission charity stream with Covenant House Toronto. Come support a great cause. We'll be there hanging out, a 12-hour live stream starting at noon Eastern. We'll be giving away prizes and all kinds of goodies, so make sure you swing by and support a great cause. Scott, coming up on today's show, PlayStation looks to continue with game adaptations heading to television. PlayStation could be making a big announcement or two this week, and Forspoken is delayed.
Oh man,
that sucks, doesn't it? I was like, man, I was really wanting that game, but we'll get into it. You ready to get going? Because let's talk about it.
Some good news, a big question mark, and then the usual, a little bit of disappointment.
Absolutely. Let's get going. As a God of War TV series is in the works at Amazon Prime. This comes from Matt Kim over at IGN. Amazon Prime Video will potentially expand their video game TV series lineup with none other than a God of War live action series. According to Deadline, Prime Video is in talks with PlayStation to adapt God of War as a live action TV series. The Expanse creators and the executive producers, Mark Fergus and Hawk. Really? Dude, that's his first name is Hawk?
That's a pretty solid first name.
That is wild. Yeah, Hawk Otsby, as well as the Wheel of Time producer, Raf Judkins, are all looking to join the adaptation. This dude could be awesome. If finalized, God of War will join Last of Us and a Twisted Metal. I don't even know about that one. I am looking for The Last of Us. Obviously, Uncharted. Go ahead.
I hope Twisted Metal really just dials up the crazy and shows, what the kind of charm to the series is. Follow Sweet Tooth, make it brutal. I'm almost remembering if it's. I don't know if it was a movie that came out already, Twisted Metal, or if I'm just remembering the ends of the games.
Ends of the trailers.
Really good.
Well, yeah, right. They did this live action, a bunch of stuff in live action. So, there's potential. Recall. There's potential there. I think, God of War, right? If you get all these people on board, they're really PlayStation. Here's what PlayStation has that Xbox doesn't. Is the TV stuff happening over there. Now, they do have Halo. Don't get me wrong. I know there's Halo, so just relax for a second, right? But that's all they have in the works right now over there. I don't know what else they could really pull in. Gears of War, perhaps. PlayStation,
Was there a Mass Effect movie on the go? I'm struggling to remember that now. Maybe it was a rumor a year ago.
It could have been a rumor, Scott. I'm not 100% sure where that one lies. But if you take a look at PlayStation's lineup right now, The Last of Us TV series. Dude, this is going to be awesome. I think it looks fantastic.
I'm looking forward to that one.
Well, exactly, right? Twisted Metal has potential. Uncharted hit the movies, did apparently pretty well. Ghost of Tsushima hitting movies now as well. So there's a lot in the works. There is a Mass Effect TV series in the works for Prime Video. I saw here at the end of the article, and as well as a Fallout TV series, which then gets into the world of Xbox, I guess.
That could be good. All right, I've seen some fan-made videos of Fallout movies series, and they're so good, though. Like, it's amazing what 5 dudes and a camcorder can get hold of. It actually works so well. But I'm excited for God of War because... Well, I newly just got into God of War 2018, and that was that was a good time. Well, so I'm thinking, there's a huge potential for story here. You have Atreus now, and I saw somebody on Twitter joking, I can't wait for Atreus to be played by Tom Holland. That'll be a great movie. which, I wouldn't hate, but at the same time, well, who do you cast as Kratos?
Well, okay, so here's one I heard this morning. Chris Pratt, I heard, is rumored. I'm like, please don't.
I think that's a joke still. People mention that on the new Mario Bros. Movie, though.
Yeah, I honestly, I don't know, but I'm not Chris Pratt. That would just seem really weird to me. Yeah, that would be kind of awkward. I think, though, they start at the 2018 game, right? The remake, the reboot of God of War. And I think that's where it feels a lot more grounded and gives you opportunity now to pull in stories in the world for television that can be compelling enough to keep that audience engaged. If you go way back to where God of War started, I don't think you're going to have an audience. Where I think the 2018 has this father-son relationship that they can really build upon, right? And then bring in the magical world of where God of War stands and the whole Norse mythology, and then pick up into season. Honestly, dude, you could probably put in a season or two just in the first game alone. And then when you get ready for season 3, you jump into Ragnarok, right? The next game for God of War. So a lot of potential, Scott. It kind of got me pretty excited when I heard this. I gotta be honest. I was pretty pumped. Dude, let's get into some... Okay, we had a report here. PlayStation to make big announcements this week. This comes from Eric over at Game Reactor. The fact that Gran Turismo 7 launched on Friday means that we've run out of games for PlayStation Studios with a set release date. That's why it's not surprising that there's been rumors about a new state of play / showcase from PlayStation lately. Well, breaking news. Tomorrow at 5 p.m. Eastern is your state of play, Scott. With a heavy focus on games coming from PlayStation Studios out of Japan.
Cool.
So, now, who's over there, Scott? It makes me kind of question what is going to be, because a lot of us were speculating, and us particularly, God of War Ragnarok, perhaps. Now, if there's a heavy focus on coming out of Japan, that's not happening, right? I don't think that's going to be there at all. Project Spartacus, we were kind of looking forward to. No. PlayStation VR 2? No. Scott, now I'm kind of curious, dude. What do we have in the world for us coming out of PlayStation? I'm thinking another Astrobot, perhaps, right? Okay. But that's kind of where I'm left at right now. If you can hear my keyboard going, it's because I'm looking up other studios in Japan. So I'm just calling myself out on that one.
I'm wondering if it's going to be something that we just haven't heard of so far. A new announcement. I think it's been quite a while since there was a new announcement.
Yeah.
I feel like we're riding out the entirety of 2021 still.
I think you're correct on that. Absolutely. I'm just trying to see what else we can have coming out of... Well, there is Japan studio, but they closed that studio. Right? Or they absorbed them into... yeah, because that was the team that did Shadow Colossus and all that kind of stuff.
Oh, that would be an announcement that would rock the world.
Well, absolutely. So, I'm trying
Until
to remember.
They offer a battle pass and a multiplayer.
Yeah, well, so I'm almost positive that they shut down Japan Studio. I think that was the one that we lost. We're not going to have them anymore. But they rolled them into the team that brought us Astrobot. So I think that's where that stands, right? So, doing research as we go here, apparently, today. It's not something we normally do on this show, that's for sure. So
have we seen just about everything we're going to see about Ghostwire Tokyo? Because there was a big focus on that last time. So I'm wondering if that's it must be almost out the door now.
Absolutely. That game is coming out relatively soon. I see people now are actually playing it for review. We did not get a copy. Yeah, we did not get a copy of it. That's a Bethesda title. That's the thing. It's not coming out of PlayStation. It's not a PlayStation studio. It's a Bethesda studio game. So that's why that's one of the reasons why we didn't get it, I'll be honest. So we'll see what happens there. But his team Asobi is out of Japan, and that's where I think we'll see stuff. They worked on stuff for VR. They worked on stuff for the PlayStation consoles themselves, getting aside from the VR aspect. But what else is coming down the pipeline, Scott? I really don't know. But we'll find out tomorrow. We'll be live 5 p.m. Eastern. Make sure you join us. They say it's going to run about 20 minutes, Scott. So not all that long.
Oh,
right?
That's a short one. Yeah.
It is compared to what we've had in the past, right?
I guess that's what happens when you cut out 20 minutes of Horizon. it becomes much shorter of a show.
Or do a half-hour show in Gran Turismo 7, right? Like it's
Oh yeah,
yeah.
I had forgotten about that one.
Yeah. Well,
I'm hoping we see some new stuff for the PlayStation VR, because this will be the right time, Just
I
show
think
like
so.
a couple minute long kind of teasers. Don't go too deep. I don't want to know release dates or nothing like that.
Sure. Yeah, I don't think we'll get into too much for the PlayStation VR. They're going to heavily focus on their Japan studios. There's going to be a couple things coming down the pipeline, and I'm curious to see what we're going to get else this year. Because right now that we're done, right? That's what he said in the article, is that Gran Turismo 7 was the last game we had, and it was on a Friday. But that's all we really know as far as an official release date. What is ahead of us for PlayStation fans for the rest of the year, and that is kind of what I'm hoping this will reveal a little bit of. What else are we going to get into? We're about to get Ghostwire Tokyo. If you're into that, definitely not my style. That would be all you and Steve on that one, as well as Nate. I think Nate might get a kick out of that one. That one, dude, that's a bizarre looking game.
I love that Neo Tokyo look. I really enjoy that kind of stuff nowadays.
Yeah, that one's not for me by any stretch of the means. But
what
I
know
know a lot of people are
Stray?
well, okay, so that's the other thing, right? Who's making Stray? Scott, do we know who's making that game?
Oh, I can't recall now.
On it.
It's going to be one of those where I hear it and I'll go, oh yeah, but I can't.
The developer is Blue 12 Studio.
Okay, no, maybe I would not have picked that one up.
That one's no, not a clue. Yeah, so there's that. We haven't heard anything on that game at all. So we'll see where that one, because that's set in that futuristic high neon setting as well, right? So
yeah,
but their webpage says right now we're hiring viewer our openings. So I don't think we're getting that one anytime soon, Scott, which is too bad as well.
No,
because I know you're all over it.
Unless they're gearing up for Stray 2.
Yes.
Trip back from the pound or something. Escape the pound.
Yeah, they get into dogs instead of cats this time around.
I just want them to show Stray a little bit. Don't get into gameplay. That's okay. Just show me a little bit of what's going on in the game, because it's still a mystery to me. And
sure,
maybe the stray cat meets an owl. That could be cool.
It could be very cool. Absolutely cool. What's not cool though, Scott, is Forspoken was delayed to October. It's coming from Wesley LeBlanc over at Game Informer. Forspoken, the upcoming Magic-based RPG from Square Enix and Luminous Productions, has been delayed to October. More specifically, Forspoken has been delayed from its original May 24th release date to October 11th. This was, here we go. We have a quote, "We have made the decision to move the release date of Forspoken to October 11th, 2022. End quote. Luminous Production writes, quote, "Our vision for this exciting new IP is to deliver a game world and hero that gamers across the globe will want to experience for years to come. So getting it right is extremely important to us. To that end, during the next few months, we will focus all of our efforts on polishing the game and can't wait for you to experience Frey's journey this fall. Thank you for your understanding and continued support. We look forward to sharing more about Forspoken with you soon." End quote. Pretty standard PR speak there, Scott. There's nothing, right? Nothing out of the mix, out of the ordinary there.
I think the only thing that really hints at any sort of extra information is that they want to polish the game. It's an interesting choice of words, because 5 months' time seems like a lot of time to polish something.
Well, okay.
Well, then again, it's better than releasing it and then spending 5 months cleaning it out.
Well, and I think that's a great point right there, right? We've all been playing Elden Ring, including myself. I know, shocker.
It's gonna be hard to surprise anyone after that game, really.
Right? So you can't risk, if you are looking towards, like, you can't release a game these days, Scott, and go, man, I wouldn't mind winning some kind of award, right? Like that's got to be a high praise to then take back to your studio and get everybody pumped for whatever's next. Forspoken is a brand new IP out of Square Enix, and I am pumped. Dude, this game looks awesome. Let's make it polished. Get it polished. You got 5 months to polish things up. We're constantly talking about last year's fiasco in some studios. This year, Battlefield 2042's disastrous launch. Like, there's so many games that are coming out unfinished, and you kind of question. We even talked about yesterday how Halo now is delaying the co-op mode again. Right? Yeah. And that hurts, dude. If you get everything working on day one and you have such a polished game, just like Elden Ring is, right? Very few bugs, works on all platforms, including last gen consoles. You don't want to come out and then brick somebody's console on last gen because that's what they're still on, because they can't find next gen consoles, or they just haven't got the money, or who knows why, right? Maybe they're just not ready to make that leap into next gen at all, and they want to stay with what they have, when there's nothing wrong with that. But at the same time, if you're going to be catering now, correct me if I'm wrong though, Scott, I'm almost saying this is next gen only. Hey, yo, what's up, Lee, joining us over on YouTube? Hopefully they're not polishing into a live service game. I don't think they are, Lee. I don't think so. That's not the focus of this one.
That's funny. That is something that comes across my mind a lot about new releases. I go, oh no, what are they going to do now? But I'm wondering how packed that release window is going to be going into October.
Dude,
because we don't know.
Holiday season again.
I don't believe there's a date set on Avowed. But I think Avowed would be almost the most direct competitive.
Yep.
To Forspoken. Like, it's just that seems kind of in line with that kind of game, a new IP.
And we haven't seen anything from Avowed at all lately either, have we, Scott?
No, not massive, in so long now. It's
massive
been several
silence.
months. That was one of the games I was super excited for, and that just disappeared back into the shadow.
No, I like that they're up front saying that we're going to polish. It's going to take us a little while to make sure it's completely polished, but man, take all the time you need, because then once we're in, right? And then you know how many people take to social to say how bad the game is, or how good the game is, for that matter. So definitely pretty excited.
I just want to like it. I just want to like the game. Please stick the landing.
It looks so cool. I can't wait. And then apparently I'm going to have to wait till October, but people are going to have to wait forever, because they're not going to get Pillars of Eternity 2 Deadfire on Switch, Scott. It's no longer in development for Switch. It comes from Wesley LeBlanc again over at Gameformer. Obsidian's massive RPG Pillars of Eternity 2 Deadfire is no longer coming to Switch. Publisher Versus Evil made this announcement in its official Discord, stating that it has canceled the Switch version of this RPG's first release in 2018. On PC and PlayStation 4 and the Xbox One in 2020. The studio kept the news brief and opted not to explain why the Switch version has been canceled. Quote, "Hey there," end quote. Versus Evil wrote, as reported by Eurogamer. Quote, "Unfortunately, after much deliberation, we have decided not to move forward with Pillars of Eternity 2 Deadfire for the Nintendo Switch." End quote. Scott, we do have a quote later on in the article that says, "We reached the limit on what we can do with our updates to the game and have exhausted the options left for us from the PC original in regards to the limitations of the hardware we are working with." End quote. Versus Evil said, dude, right now, this is why we talk about we need the next Switch, right? We're getting so far behind in the horsepower and the hardware capabilities of where everybody else now is so set forward with new PC specs, new PlayStation 5, new Xbox One Series X. I was like, almost Xbox One X. Man, what a Xbox, I tell you.
Xbox 2. The Xbox 2 S and X.
Dude, you don't mess up PlayStation, but Xbox every once in a while kind of, I'm like, oh yeah, right, Xbox Series. So yeah, right, we're just so far advanced now in the world of technology that everything now has been pushing that the Switch is just getting left behind.
Yeah, you need 1 million teraflops. Whatever that means, you need it now. Otherwise, you're just underpowered. And we're going to see a lot more games. As time goes on, we're only going to see more games, and developers kind of, shrug off the Switch. And that's really unfortunate for everybody with a Switch and the developers. They want to put out this full, wide net for each of their games. And it's just, Switch is going to be left in the dust. And even if it's not, then you're going to have, how did Doom run initially? Not terrible. How did Apex run? Ugh.
Awful. Dude, I still stand by how bad that game ran. It was horrible.
Oh, it likely runs on your cell phone much better, which is hilarious now that it released yesterday. We can find that out soon.
Actually, we should be getting feedback on that, how well Apex Mobile runs. Maybe they should bring the mobile version over to Switch, because the Switch version is horrible. It just doesn't work, man. And this is just disappointing, right? So that's not something we want to get into.
You may have discovered.
Maybe, right? Yeah. So there it is. I think that is telling right there that you can't bring a game from 2018 over to the Switch because it just doesn't run it. It doesn't have the functionality.
I just had a memory come back of, I remember the Switch, the whole idea was that you could share your computing power with the network of other Switches. Almost like a chia farm kind of thing, where you if you have the Switch docked and it's not active, but it's on standby, it'll be borrowed from to kind of make things work better. And there was no development on that front, I don't think. That kind of fell to the wayside in the first year of the Switch. And I'm wondering now, does Nintendo have any sort of plans, possibility of grabbing a bunch of cloud servers and then just broadcasting it to your Switch? There's problems with that, of course, but every other developer platform seems to have their own cloud service now.
Well, and we've heard things coming to the cloud service with the Switch as well, right? So I think maybe that's one of their workarounds, the fact that they don't have the horsepower right now in the Nintendo Switch to be capable of bringing a game from 2018 over, or like what's the future. Here's the thing, Scott. Zelda Breath of the Wild 2 should be on a next gen Switch, not on last gen Switch, man. It's been so long, right? We want to see it. What are the capabilities it can pull off on the next generation of the Switch, not keep it back and held back in the old version, right?
Well, Breath of the Wild was released on the Wii U and the Switch. It was a split release. So even if the new one comes out as a split release onto the next Switch, that's a middle ground that would be acceptable. But I agree with you. I think they need new hardware.
I think so.
Fast.
Scott, there's no new releases today, but we do have some game updates. And one, are you looking forward to this one? Take it away, man.
Yes, Battlefield 2042's next update, number 3.3, will be, I feel like we're going to be talking about these updates until they're 9.3, but 3.3 will be given live access today across platforms, bringing a bunch of changes to the in-game scoreboard and other bug fixes. This is great. They just released a whole lot of information on new maps and the updates coming there. This addresses the other half. DICE made a blog post on the game's official website outlining the update, and what will be improved or changed. Major changes to the scoreboard will now show you death stats as well as other information, I presume. You'll be able to view the in-game team versus team split, and that works across just about all modes, it looks like. Perhaps not Portal. That Portal is a whole kind of separate and aside. I need to do more investigation into that myself, but
that's fair.
This is EA really trying their best to kind of clean up the Battlefield experience. And, I have to give them, some credit there. They really appear to be trying to clean it up, and I just hope for a good result, like anyone that was excited about that game. Give it the No Man's Sky treatment.
Yeah, you can't
flip
go
it
wrong
all
there.
Around.
Absolutely. What else we have?
We have a Fortnite update. This one's a little more in the realm of Corey.
yeah.
Fortnite's ever-growing multiverse has grown again with 2 new Marvel characters, Gambit and Rogue. That's pretty cool to me. They have a whole new set of skins, items, have their own skin types, different variants, stuff like that. And it was noted that they are happily married in this version of it. So there's a little bit of a continuation on with the storyline. We need more X-Men movies, though.
Yeah, we're overdue. We have one last one, though.
Dolmen, Prime Matter, and Massive Works Studio are pleased to announce that Dolmen, the third-person action RPG from a unique cosmic horror sci-fi setting, will be released on May 20th, 2022, this year. Pre-orders for Dolmen will be available on PlayStation 4, 5, Xbox One, 2, and PC soon. Set in the sci-fi universe where humanity has colonized several star systems using space travel, technology, and genetic manipulation.
Dude, this game looks cool.
That sounds really cool.
It does look cool. It said horror in there. I was like, oh, no way. Really? Don't do that to me, because the game actually looks cool. And
I wonder if it's a Lovecraftian one.
I'm kind of wondering, because it looks stylized, right? But yeah, dude, guess what? That's going to wrap it up today, everybody. Thank you for hanging out with us. This has been ITG Daily, the show that brings you the hottest in gaming news. You can always join us live over on twitch.tv/theofficialITG, as well as YouTube at ITG Reviews. But if you can't join us live, hit us up later. InsideTheGame.ca, podcast services, and TV streaming networks around the globe. We'll be back tomorrow, of course, but I'm Drew, that's Scott, and we'll see you inside the game.